At 8 o'clock, she rocked up and she sits down and says, I'm so sorry I'm so late. I was going to be on time. And then the dog shit on my sleeve.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Single Sounds. I am the host and creator, Katie Mack, and my aim is to try and match you listeners with a perfect first date. This week's character is looking for someone fun, and you'll be sure to be impressed with his celebrity knowledge and quote memory. He has some interesting opinions on activity dates, but will be sure to improve your Sunday evenings if things do go well. Okay, hi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on Single Sounds.
No, you're very welcome.
It's good to be here.
I'm glad you're happy to be here. So let's start with your profile. Who, what, where. So who are you sexually attracted to?
Women, mainly.
Good.
I think so.
Mainly.
No, women. And I mean, I think what I'd probably say is that I won't reinvent the wheel at this point in terms of my sort of preferences. I think someone that I'd be looking for is someone who's fun and funny and I can have a laugh with. I guess kindness is a trait that I think is really, really important. And ideally someone who can pick up on my Richard Curtis references. But that's not a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker. It's ideal. But,
you could train them on that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's like dates 4, 5 and 6. Notting Hill, 4 weddings and a funeral at that time. In that order, obviously.
Oh my God.
Whether they like it or not.
Do you know what? I've dated a lot of guys that Notting Hill is like their favourite rom-com / maybe favourite film of all time. No. It's a great film, I'm not
really,
gonna
really
lie.
good.
Like, I love it.
I think it's in terms of like the
it's just interesting how many guys like it.
I mean, it's almost like a fairy tale, and we've been derailed already. But it's important, you know. It's one of my
passions.
That's one of the traits I really identify with. It's almost like a fairy tale. You know, Hugh Grant meets someone who's from another world almost. Yeah. And Julia Roberts, and
it makes you think as a mere mortal, like, oh, I could be with a celebrity. It could happen
one day. And
tragic.
You know, it's the soundtrack is wonderful. The characters are excellent, really well thought out. The script is sharp.
Yeah,
good film.
No, it is. It's very funny. Like, it's very funny. Good individual watch. And how about where?
Anywhere but Clapham.
I rate that.
I'm joking.
You've wiped out like most listeners.
I'm joking. No, I used to live in Clapham. It's lovely. There's wonderful people there. Anywhere, I'd say probably within the M25. I'm happy to travel.
Okay.
Zones 1 to 2, ideally, just because that's what my Oyster card is. It's my Oyster card situation. So once you go past Balham, do you know what I mean?
Okay. Wait, sorry, what's this Oyster card business?
So I've got a Zone 1 to 2 travel card. This is really fascinating stuff. But when you go past, and this honestly, I can't say this isn't me. I'm not being this picky. But it's just a bit of a faff when you go past. I think that on the Northern Line, you get past Clapham South. Balham is in Zone 3.
Yeah, okay.
So like you come out and then it makes you have to top up when you.
Yeah, it's annoying. But a lot of people are in Clapham Balham.
Clapham, fine. Well,
Clapham North must be Zone 2.
That all of Clapham is.
Oh, fine.
It's honestly, you cross the border into Balham. It's a whole other world.
Oh, I'm excited for your warm-up game.
Okay.
Because you're doing celebrity impressions.
I'm doing a celebrity impression.
Me and celebrities are interesting, but I'm very excited to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous you're not going to get it.
Are you?
Well, a little bit.
Oh, no.
I know, and I also want to be the person who wakes up and makes everyone a coffee so everyone's ready for the morning. She doesn't know it! No!
I don't think I do.
Do you not like Love Island?
No, I do.
Oh, fuck.
Or is it this year's, though?
No, it's classic. Classic Love Island.
Oh. I remember
it was in the Tommy Fury series.
Yeah.
Oh, if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's a shame.
That is a shame.
Gutting.
But it's good, I'm guessing.
Devastating.
Who is it?
It was Curtis Pritchard
from
Love Island.
Curtis.
Yeah, he's gone on to bigger and better things, of course, like Hollyoaks.
Hollyoaks.
Yeah, did you see? Have you seen his turn in Hollyoaks?
No.
Horrendous. Like, just unbelievably bad. Like,
what? As in he's terrible?
Oh, shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't think he's helped by the script.
I'm not surprised.
But it's GCSE level stuff. It's him and his brother did a little cameo for a few episodes. And it's atrocious. But I'm not going to do the impression because it wasn't very good.
Well, it probably was. I'm not going to lie. I know who he is, but I'm not good at his voice.
There was.
But I'll listen to it after.
It was the one. Right. That helps. Move on.
Move on. No, it's quite funny.
Okay.
Lol. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's my fault.
No, I just thought of an impression I could have done that you would have probably got.
Well, go on, do it again.
The X Factor guy. And I have to do it and get into character again. It's time to face the music.
Yeah, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, he recorded a birthday message from my mate Robbie at one point. That guy, so props.
Really?
Yeah, he does those.
Cameos.
Cameo, yeah. He was really he properly went to town on the script. He was great. He sort of improvised around it. It was smashing. Yeah.
What is your best dating story?
I think I call it probably my most eventful dating story, memorable dating story.
Ups and downs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to be a little bit careful because the girl who I went on a date with she's the daughter of, I think it's fair to say, a national treasure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. And for full disclosure, I didn't know this at the time of the date.
Okay.
Reason being, I'd been discussing, dating with one of a friend who's in a relationship because they often quite like to live vicariously.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's all
You're doing a whole podcast about
it. What do you think I'm doing here?
Exactly. And I said, oh yeah, I'm going on a date with this girl, and I sort of showed him, and he said, oh, do you know who that is? It's like,
oh, so you didn't know?
No, I didn't at this point. And he said, oh, that's this person's daughter. I want to be quite careful to preserve identity and so on. So I was like, oh my God, Christ alive. Okay, fair enough. So that's one piece of semi-important context. Another is that I was very tired on the day of the date in question. And another piece of context is I promise I like dogs as much as the next person. I have dogs, love dogs.
Okay.
Can't stress enough.
Don't know where this is
Love
going.
dogs. Oh yeah, it all becomes very, very achingly apparent. Anyway, so on the evening of the date, and actually I should say as well, she had said during the week, because we'd arranged to go out on the Monday for then the following Sunday. So we sort of were speaking briefly during the week, and I sort of said, how's your week going? And she said, okay, bit stressful. My dog's very ill. And I said, oh no, I'm so sorry to hear it. And she said, yeah, it's been quite tough actually. He might have to come along on Sunday. As I say, love dogs.
Yeah.
Love dogs.
But they don't need to come on the date.
No. And so...
I'm a big animal fan, and I think that's really weird.
Leave the dog at home.
What benefit is bringing it on the date? If it dies there and then, that's awful too.
Yeah, that's from... I mean,
if it's going to die, it's going to die. You'd rather it die nicely at home than out, at a pub with a stranger.
That would be a memorable date.
What's the benefits of it coming? I'm confused.
They didn't make themselves
clear.
No. The benefits didn't materialise, I'll be completely honest. So I'm sitting there. We'd agreed 7 o'clock. She pushed back to 7:30. I'm sitting there at 7:30. It was a dog-friendly pub. I'll say that for the choice of place, which wasn't mine. At 8 o'clock, she rocked up. Oh. I say she rocked up. Labrador kind of fucking flies through the door with her sort of being pulled by it. And she sits down and says, I'm so sorry I'm so late. I was going to be on time, and then the dog shit on my sleeve. So I had to shower and change, which I thought fair enough, and I appreciate the candour,
Yeah.
Good honesty. You could have just said, oh, I missed my train.
Yeah.
But fair enough,
You went with shit on sleeve.
Shit on sleeve, it's sexy stuff. Cards on the table, fair play, love it. Anyway, we sit down, and this is where my tiredness comes into it a little bit as mitigation for what I'm about to say, which is not my proudest moment. But she asked me how my Sunday had been, and I said, I kind of did this, and I did this, and then I watched this, which was the show that her mum or dad had presented.
Right.
And I think I did it a little bit too effusively, or I sort of gesticulated towards her as I said it, which is
because she doesn't know at this point that you knew.
No, and it's an insane thing to do. Insane. It was a lapse of judgment, whatever. It was very foolish. And then so she I kind of kept going, and then she was so whoa, let me just pull you back. Sorry, this early? And I was like, oh, and she gave me a really sort of inquisitive stare, and I played dumb like you wouldn't believe, and I just went, and she named the program and she said, really? And I was like, yeah, it's a TV show on. I'm not going to name the channel. And she went, and you just brought that up
randomly.
And I was like, yeah, big fan. Watched it. And I gaslighted her. It was terrible. It was really, really bad. No. And she stared at me with I'm describing it as a piercing stare. And then she sort of went, so what did you think of today's episode? I thought, fuck's sake. And to be fair, I had watched it, so I was able to come up with some...
you were able to reply.
Daft fucking observations about it and start out in some way, shape or form, but really not my proudest moment. But then the dog really kind of took over as the most embarrassing thing about... so it was a big dog, big Labrador, and they're badly behaved at the best of times.
Yeah,
This
especially
thing,
around food.
Oh, and there wasn't any. Well, there was some food knocking around, but this made Marley from Marley and Me look like the best trained dog in the world.
Oh, no,
he would have won awards
I
compared
thought
to
he
this
was
dog.
ill.
Had been ill, and
Clearly not.
well, its stomach was bad.
Right.
It was flatulent.
Okay.
And so I was just sort of sitting there, kind of trying to make the best first impression ever. Well, trying to salvage one, having nearly put my foot in it like no one has ever done before. And the dog was just sitting there, and it was just farting, and it wasn't loud, but it just absolutely stank.
Oh, because it had a bad tummy.
Yeah, really. So what had happened was the dog had gotten into the bin and had just eaten loads of mints that had gone off, because Labradors do that.
Yeah, and they can flip their stomach.
Yeah, and so it was just lying there guffing to begin with, and that was off-putting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that would really ruin the vibe.
It wasn't as off-putting though as her sort of sitting there with her arm out for the majority, because it was sort of trying to pull to just run off and like maraud around the pub, which, as I say, was dog friendly, but I think even they were being stretched to their limits at this point, because she'd let go and it would just run around, it would jump up on the chairs, it would start bugging people, and you could see the staff just sort of being like, come on, really?
I'm really surprised she bought this dog.
It is wild, isn't it?
Especially if she must know it's badly behaved. Like, it would have been so distracting regardless.
I know. And anyway, so she would then summon the dog back, because it was really stretching the patience of the bar staff, and it was becoming quite obvious. And I have to say, like, and to summon it back, she had brought this little Tupperware full of cooked chicken, and she would go, Baxter, chicken, and he would like come fucking flying back. I was like, oh my god, this is weird. Like, this isn't usual. I wouldn't be sort of rocking around with like a Tupperware full of meat on me just for the whim of the dog. And then it would be quite sort of docile for a bit, and maybe lie down, and then we just start farting again. And it was really quite disruptive. At one point, she let slip that the dog slept on the bed. I didn't let slip, sort of declared it. Sort of like, I've got an issue with that. And yeah, in a way, I mean, I don't love it.
I don't have animals on my bed.
No, 100%. It makes it dirty. So that was, I'd call that probably an orange flag. But
best.
Clearly, so she then, a bit later on in the day, said, my mum always says that the dog is he's a really good dickhead detector. And then followed it up immaculately smoothly with and he doesn't seem to like you very much. I was like, Christ, you really do know how to flirt, don't you? Goodness me.
Oh no. That's just like you're out. Like, she
did offer to get a third drink, and I was, at this point, I was tired.
Yeah. And
I did say, do you know what, I'm exhausted, but
thanks.
Yeah, thank you. And then
introducing me to your dog.
Yeah, and I sent her a message the next day just to say, I think I said something like, lovely to meet you both yesterday. Both. How is he today? And she said, yeah, he's doing right. And we just exchanged sort of online messages. After a few, she just went, sorry, did you just message to be polite? Because I kind of rate that. And I was a bit like, okay, well, I don't know what to say to that.
Because yes.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
So that is probably my most memorable
that's pretty wild.
dating story.
But even without the like National Treasure daughter bit, it's still very weird. Yeah. Like, I would be really confused.
They say don't work with children or animals. And I can fully see
why. Other than dog-friendly pubs. You know the best spot in London for what?
So I don't know if this place is dog-friendly, actually. I'll have to check on my next
Not important.
On my next visit. But I think so I know the best spot in London for a good old-fashioned East End knees up.
Oh, okay.
Like they used to do in the war.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Oh,
Wait, where is it?
I can't recommend this place enough. Maybe I shouldn't be saying it, because it's honestly, it's like...
Is it like unknown?
It feels like one of the best kept secrets that I know about, and I'm now just blabbing about
not that many
it.
People listen.
We're fine then.
It's not like the millions
they'll be
yet.
glad of it. And so it's a place called the Duke of Kendall.
Okay.
Near Marble Arch, and
quite central then.
Yeah, I know. So I think people travel from sort of far and wide, but I've been a couple of times, and honestly, it was just the nicest thing ever.
Yeah.
So over at about sort of 7:00 on a Sunday, they wheel out a little piano, and there's a player who's honestly, he must be 90, And he is,
Wow.
I've never seen a keysman like it. Like, he can really play and knows everything and just sort of tinkles away. And then after a while, a couple of the guys who are regulars will get up and sing songs. And it's not just, it's not like your Adeles or anything like that. It's old time sort of My Old Man's a Dustman or The Lambeth Walk, like these songs kind of from, or A Long Way to Tipperary, like songs from the war, which my grandparents used to sort of sing to me and stuff. And they all they slowly start getting more and more kind of involved, and everyone like mucks in. But the clientele generally, they're really quite tight knit, and they're sort of an average age of maybe 70, and they all just get together and have a sing song. And it's a lovely thing to kind of witness. It just feels like it's from a proper kind of bygone era. And then we get involved a little bit because I love a sing.
Sounds great though.
It's on it. I can't. This is the thing. You kind of don't want it to become oversubscribed in a minute because it doesn't feel. It's weird. It doesn't feel like it's an event. It just
only
feels
Sundays.
To my knowledge, yeah. I think there's another because I started talking because I was just so enthusiastic about the whole thing. I was like loving it. I was just speaking to anyone there who was sort of like would tolerate me because we got we started singing Hey Jude as a table. And then the fella started, because can just do it. He just started playing the piano accompaniment, and the whole place was going. I think it got a couple of the regulars' nose up though, because they were a bit like, "Oh, come on, singing this poppy trash."
Yeah. Where's Tipperary?
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they also were quite like, it's nice to see sort of new people in.
Yeah, I'm sure they like that it's going to be continued as well, because they can't just be the same people there all the time.
Exactly,
but it's not sustainable.
Yeah, in terms of just like Sunday evening fare, I can't say I've had a better Sunday evening than I do. Honestly.
And that's the thing. Sunday's normally like so dead and boring. Like that sounds amazing just to go and like have a good time.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so great.
And what is your moan of the moment?
So my moan of the moment is activity dates.
That's your moan?
Yeah, big time.
Oh, I just had a little good plug for these.
Did
you? You don't like them?
I think, hear me out, that activity dates are for boring people. So I'm dial down my rhetoric a little bit, but no, I think
I see where you're coming from, because I actually said previously that I think it's really nice to have something else to divert away from if you're running out of conversation.
Yeah,
but that wasn't because I'm boring. That's because like the person I'm with might be boring.
This is it. I think it's if you go into an activity date acknowledging that you're potentially not going to get on with the person that you're there with, and
yeah, this is smart. I see where you're coming from.
Thanks, that's really kind. That's lovely. As in, so you go in on the kind of understanding that you might not have enough chat to kind of just sustain a conversation.
Yeah.
But my God, you're going to learn about their mini golf average or handicap, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, and I just think people who meet on first dates and go on activity dates are just going to be the ones who end up on cruises when they're married, like just not talking to each other.
My whole personality being attacked.
I'm kind of joking a bit.
I love a cruise.
And I like to stress as well, like I love going and doing things. Like I love, going to the theatre or going to an art gallery or something like that. It's just this kind of sort of organised, and I also like organised fun as well. But when it's really kind of when you do these things only in this really particular set of circumstances, where it's
like
just
mini golf.
Yeah, and I've never heard someone say, I don't really have a type physically, but my God, I like someone who's good in an escape room. Or someone who can really throw an axe. Fucking hell.
Yeah. That was a bit of an ick though.
What?
I've done that.
Axe throwing? Yeah. I don't understand it. I don't know why.
It's very hard.
I don't know why these things is being... Why would you want to throw an axe? It's bizarre.
It was really difficult.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, like to get it to land on the target, obviously, because it spins, right? So most of the time it hits the other end, or like just like falls flat against it, and it was. I found it very frustrating.
I bet it smells weird there. That's a really Did it smell?
It did.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's the wood, I think.
Yeah. The one exception I mean, obviously there are others, but kind of the one exception I make is karaoke. I do like
that's bold.
I like a karaoke day.
Yeah. That's not normal though.
No.
I'm thinking like your classics of like mini golf, bounce, like those vibes. Not karaoke's like I'd love it because I will get up at any karaoke and sing.
Do you have a song of choice?
Unwritten Natasha.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's very good.
Always. What's yours?
Super bass, Nicki Minaj.
Oh, really?
I've got a bit of a selection. So that's in there. Depending on the mood, you know.
That was not what I was expecting.
It's bloody good though.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Bloody good. Gets the people going. You've got that Feel by Robbie Williams.
Oh, okay.
Bit
of a different vibe.
Yes. And then you've also got Night Changes by One Direction.
Oh.
Yeah. I think you've got to go a bit left.
That's like also not very well known.
Exactly. But people do know it.
Yeah, I know it enough.
Yeah. And it slaps. Like it's just and the key change in there, oh my god. That is Harry and don't
Gets the crowd going.
I love Harry's House, but Christ, that is Styles at his best.
Yeah. It's so funny. Oh, good. Good moan though. It's I'd say that's a controversial opinion as well because they're very popular.
Yeah. And I've been invited on them.
Do you decline?
I just think I stand by the fact. Well, it's obviously not a fact. I stand by my belief, my conviction that the best way to get to know somebody is just to sit and natter.
Yeah, chat.
Have a beer, have a glass of wine, you know, and you can dress it up dead nice. You can like put it if you're sitting in a lovely little pub. I'm thinking fire in the corner, cozy.
Yeah,
that's not cheap. That's not throwaway.
Yeah,
that's quality time. It's just not trying to, you know,
dress it up.
Yeah, not trying to get a strike at the same time.
Go on then, I'm so intrigued. What is your most controversial opinion?
Most controversial opinion. So, again, thinking about this one, I was sort of thinking through what you kind of see regularly on Hinge and other dating apps are obviously available. But there are common answers that you get. So you have like pet peeves in particular, slow walkers.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Big one.
Yeah. You got most rational fear, pigeons.
Often.
Yeah. You see that all the time. Cows being able to moo in regional accents. It's what people talk about. But the big one, the one that I keep coming across, is at people's dream dinner party, you would see Sir David Attenborough and Louis Theroux. So my controversial opinion is that I would not have either of them. They would not be on the guest list. They would not be allowed in.
Not allowed in?
Not allowed in, no. They can...
What's David done?
Well...
Let's start with that.
I'll tell you. David deserves a night off, even in the kind of the hypothetical space that is the dream dinner party calendar.
Right, yeah, he's a bit busy.
He's booked up till like 2030. The man is old.
If he's even alive then.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
He's going to go on forever, come on.
Yeah, I genuinely think people think he's like eternal at this point.
I do hope so. He's busy.
He's a busy man.
Yeah, so he's got better things to do
than your
to come
dinner
to my
party.
dinner party.
That's very selfless of you to think.
I am very selfless. But no, there is a selfish reason as well, which I think that you, when particularly in planning actual real dinner parties, there's quite a lot of alchemy that goes into a dinner party in terms of your curation of the guests. Because you don't want to flare up.
No.
You don't want tension. You don't want arguments. You want everyone to be having a nice time.
Yeah.
But equally, you don't want people to feel overshadowed. So
he might be quite intimidating.
Yeah, and I think in the same way that if, like, for instance, on like Graham Norton, when they have don't get me wrong, love the programme, great stuff that they make, really, really good stuff. But they'll often have like a lineup that's like Sarah Millican, Joe Wicks, and then Beyonce.
Right.
So and then that feels a little bit awkward because they're obviously, and you know, they'll hold their own. They're entertaining people and they're there in their own right.
But they don't gel.
And they must be there feeling absolutely starstruck by
everyone else.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Or Tom Hanks, or whoever it is.
Yeah.
You know, the proper like AAA listed that they've got there. Which you'd argue that Attenborough and Theroux also are.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't let them in. Because they tip the scales.
It's not balanced.
No.
Is that the same for Louis as well?
Louis, and he would make people feel uncomfortable as well, I think.
Just with his opinions.
I don't think he could relax.
No.
I think maybe he could, but he just sort of because that's the amazing thing about Louis Theroux. And don't get me wrong, I really respect him as an interviewer and as a broadcaster, but he's a bit odd. Like he's a bit unusual.
But people like that. It's
people do like that. I think people like that on the telly though, rather than you want to be comfortable at a dinner party.
Yeah. I know. I fully agree. Yeah. You want someone that's going to like make everyone feel at ease, join in.
Yeah.
Which I think David would do.
I think he would.
He would be better at that.
I think he would, but at the same time, it becomes a bit David.
I think it would all be about him.
It becomes the David show.
Yeah, it would be.
People would be fascinated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone would just want to talk to him.
People would kind of want it to be, but that's not. I've got a bit of a stake in this as well. Like, I don't want my dinner party to be the David show.
Yeah.
So
who would you have though?
I'd have Paul Rudd.
Okay.
I'd have Alison Hammond. I'd have Bob Mortimer. I'd have Jenny.
This is well thought out.
Oh yeah. That's alchemy. And I'd have Jenny and Lee from Gogglebox.
Nice.
And I'd have my sister Mo. She could, because I can't have Bob Mortimer around without Mo being there. Because she'd be too jealous.
She'd be too sad.
Because I think in amongst all
that's Notting Hill reference 101.
Yeah.
Like the sister over who's like fangirling.
Yeah, you need a creative sister, and there she is. Although Mo is much better than, not better, that's wrong, but like
wouldn't be as
they're often quite comedic, the sister is, whereas Mo is just like, don't get me wrong, she's got a sense of humour on her, but she's a bit more, you can take it more seriously as an individual.
Okay, Bestie Rec time. Are you excited?
I'm nervous. This is the most nervous I've been.
Oh yeah, because you were like, should I find you someone? I was like, don't worry.
Yeah, we've got it.
No need.
No, we're fine.
It's already been sent.
It's been resourced. So I've got no idea who this is going to be, or what they're going to say.
What can I say about this person then? Well, he certainly loves to talk. There'll be no awkward silences on any date that you go on, that's for sure. He also loves a movie quote, especially if you're a big fan of Harry Potter. So just to warn you though, if you are a big fan of Harry Potter, he really is expert level. So even if you're a massive Potterhead, do some revision before your date, because he won't just know the films here, he'll know all the books, all the little extra books, he'll know all the characters. Not that he's a nerd, but when he's doing these movie quotes as well, he'll try to probably slip a few impressions in, if you like those. Hey, some of them are questionable, but I'll let him do them to you first and you can make your own judgments. Now, what else? He's got a very cool job. He works in television. He's extremely good at what he does. He's a very talented person. Also, his house in North London is very, very swish. Maybe you should go check it out. No, it's very, very nice. This person also loves a party. He loves a few drinks. He's always the life and soul of any occasion. Very, very big group of friends, big social life. And overall as well, he's extremely kind. He's very caring. He's a brilliant friend. He's got a cracking family, and he truly does have a personality which is very infectious. He's brilliant to be around, so I'm certain that he'd make a fantastic boyfriend. I'd give him my 10 out of 10 backing. You should definitely go on a date with him.
That's nice.
It's really, I mean, he's ruined me. He's ruined any prospect of anything coming out of this. The Harry Potter thing. I was
People like Harry
trying
Potter,
to keep it quiet. Yeah, but he's made me out to be as much of a fan as I actually am.
But I've definitely already figured out, established in this episode that you've got a very good memory of
But it's useless things.
No, but it's still a skill in the sense that I can't remember quotes and celebrities, and clearly you're just insane. So I can imagine for you that's probably really easy to remember quotes and things from Harry Potter.
Yeah, and also just a testament to my properly misspent youth. We just used to watch them all the time. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I'd like to stress. Oh no, I can't even do it, because the embarrassing thing about this is that individual there, we both did dress up as Gryffindor students for Halloween and
This year.
Yeah. So last
That's
weekend
cute.
we spent running around just
That's a good costume though.
being so silly. It was, no, we had loads of fun.
Did you have one?
Yeah, we had ones. Yeah. No, that was really, really sweet. It was really nice.
Okay, final section. This or that.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good, yeah.
Would you rather work for someone or only have people work for you?
I think so. The thing is, when someone becomes a boss and it changes the sort of the dynamic, doesn't it? You lose the kind of sense of, I don't know, camaraderie with your colleagues, don't you? So it creates that dynamic.
I've heard that a lot from CEOs actually.
Really?
That it gets quite lonely because
Yeah,
people feel like they
over the
can't
top.
be themselves
Exactly.
around you.
I've never been a boss. I've sort of had people that kind of have been. You have to sort of ask them to do things on shows I've worked on and stuff, and I don't mind that. But equally, I don't know. I don't think right now I'd kind of be quite suited to being an exec.
Mm.
I don't know. I wouldn't get taken seriously. Can you imagine me telling somebody off? That'd be awful. So I'd go with working for someone, I think.
Yeah, I would too. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
Also,
one day.
I would hate to fire people.
Oh my god! Can you imagine?
Yeah, no. I've spoken to people that actually have to do that,
and that's a horrible thought.
Because I had to ask how the fuck.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, it's obviously it's awful. It's not.
There's no two ways.
Fun, yeah.
No. Christ, yeah.
you just have to be sensitive and like not crack jokes, and do you know what I mean? Like you just have to try and be as respectful as you can. Well, I think sometimes like especially as
But
Brits,
to cheer you up,
yeah,
what did one rule say to the
I think
other?
sometimes as like Brits, we're quite bad at like being sensitive.
Yeah.
We can use humour to like cover some things up,
But there's situations
there's times where like
it's
that's just not
appropriate.
okay.
Yeah, no, of course.
Would you rather be the best in the world at a skill, task, or job of your choice, but be socially unbearable, or be loved by everyone you meet for the rest of your life?
But be terrible at everything.
Well, no, it doesn't say. It just is like you're either amazing, but no one wants to be around you, or you're just loved by everyone, and I guess just average.
Yeah. So you know about Djokovic? He's a knobhead, isn't he?
Yeah.
I
know who that is. Yeah. Were you asking me?
No.
Oh.
I'm just sort of explaining. But he's obviously very good at tennis.
Apparently he is awful.
Yeah, would not take the vax. I thought this before the whole anti-vax stuff came out. I just thought he was smug, which isn't a reason to hate somebody. I appreciate, but anyway. Or you love. Naturally, I'm inclined towards the just being loved by everyone because
me too.
Because I crave
rather just that.
Crave affection.
Also, being loved by everyone.
That's good.
That's really hard to be.
That's tough. And also, that's actually because you said be the best in the world at something.
Yeah.
Clearly, if you're loved by everyone,
that is the best. Yeah.
You're the most likable person in the world, lovable person in the world.
Also, like, you could really start. Go on Gogglebox. Everyone would have to love you.
100%.
You get you could just be the most famous person probably ever because you wouldn't have any haters.
I'm going with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it.
Would you rather your only mode of transportation to be a donkey or a giraffe?
I mean, a donkey looks more comfortable for my money. Giraffe would be interesting. I mean, I'm just thinking. I mean, so presumably you're in a world without public transport.
Yeah, it just says you, or your rule is you can only use your donkey or giraffe.
It's got to be the donkey. I'm trying to think of an upside for the giraffe.
Does it run faster?
It probably would.
I think so.
But have you seen how they run? It's bizarre. It's
I
weird.
think it'd be so uncomfortable. You couldn't have any baggage. At least the donkey you can have like nice, strap on.
They're famously they're good at carrying things.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I can't think of an upside for the giraffe. Like you'd be the guy who's riding the giraffe, which is it's an energy.
Yeah, maybe it's more like are you a showy person?
Oh, I see. I
don't know, or just like a practical. Would you rather be criticised or ignored?
Probably ignored, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I know there's a difference between, or people would see that as being less bad than being kind of infamous, or kind of a bit of a rogue. But I'm not really about it. Don't really want Twitter pylons. Can live without it.
Yeah. Would you rather be unable to move your body every time it rains, or not be able to stop moving when it's sunny?
So the toss up here is, if you're outside and it's raining, you're going to get wet.
You're stuck.
You're going to
get
soaking.
Yeah.
That said, you're having to move around the whole time. That would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you couldn't sunbathe.
No, you really couldn't.
No.
Yeah, to take it to its logical extension, you would be really annoying the beach.
Could we like flip it and stop? It just says stop moving. Could you just like flick your foot or move a finger? Would that count?
Yeah, no, I've seen. So
I was thinking like run about or like.
That's exactly where my mind has gone to. Yeah. In contrast with literally having to freeze.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it does have to be that extreme.
Even then, just a bit of small movement constantly is really annoying.
Yeah.
It's almost you'd rather be running about because you've got that kind of clearly got you full of energy. But like people who like do that with their foot like the whole time, the shaking, that's really annoying.
It is annoying
just like
when they bounce,
like a knee move. Oh, just
yeah, and if it bounces you're like stop.
I'm going rain.
Yeah, because I think stop in the rain.
I mean, you'd pick your moments. So like if there was a threat of rain, you'd stay inside.
Yeah,
you park yourself. I realise that puts you at a bit of a risk. You'd have to work from home a bit more.
You're unable to move. Yeah. Imagine writing into your boss like, "Why didn't you only work today?" Or when it rains, I physically can't move.
Yeah, I think you'd have to declare it when you were applying for the job. Yeah. Yeah. Do you require flexible working? Well, it's a complicated question.
Okay, final one. Would you rather have all dogs try to attack you when they see you, or all birds try and attack you when they see you?
Oh, that's good. Birds go in packs, don't they? There are some big dogs though.
Yeah, big birds.
I saw there are some big birds, you're right.
Seagulls is what I was picturing.
Seagulls are massive.
They're huge.
People, you don't realise it. They're not mentioned in the same breath as like, wolves and stuff when you grow up. Like proper menaces. But seagulls
they're
are
massive.
Huge.
So I wouldn't want that.
No.
I wouldn't. You're right. A dog is like that would really hurt you
Mm,
unless it was like a stupid Chihuahua. But
yeah.
I'm thinking like a lot of even like a Labrador. If that really wanted to hurt you, it probably could.
100% it could, yeah. So you'd have to steer clear from your major parks. Yeah, so I'd go for. I'd rather have dogs trying to attack me than birds.
Yeah. And that concludes the podcast.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Nice. There we go.
Do you have anything you'd like to say as like closing words?
No, I'm good. That was. I'm exhausted. I'm all talked out. I'm done.
If you would like to date this character or know someone who would be interested, contact the podcast on Instagram at Single Sounds. The link is in the show notes. And if you're feeling extra generous today, remember to leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to help you get more dates. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday.